What is circumstantial evidence, and can we use it to prove your medical malpractice case? Would you like to learn the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. And the answer is, yes, we can use circumstantial evidence to prove your case. Now first, what is circumstantial evidence? It's evidence that's not clear and direct. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're walking down the beach, and now you see paw prints on the beach. And you look around, but you don't see any dog. You don't see any animal. You don't see what it was that created those paw prints. But you know, don't you? You know that the only way those prints can be created is from an animal. Most likely a dog. Maybe it's a cat, maybe it's some other type of animal. But you know that the only possible way that those paw prints can actually occur is if an animal came by at some point before you to create those paw prints. So let's take a look at the facts that you do know. Well, you're walking along the beach and you don't see any other person or any other animal. All right, what other facts do you know? You know that animals have paws. And you know that the paw prints that you are observing in the sand are similar to paw prints you have seen in the past made by dogs, made by other animals, and you probably have seen them either in the sand or in the snow. Okay, so what other conclusions can you reach from those observations? Well, you can reach the conclusion that at some point before you were there, an animal, may not know exactly what type of animal, an animal was walking on the beach before you. What other conclusions can you reach? Well, you can reach the conclusion that the animal was headed in a particular direction. And you can often observe which direction it was heading based upon the paw print orientation. Was it going forward? Was it going backwards? And again, that's an observation and a conclusion you can reach even though you don't see any dog around. You don't see any cat. You don't see any animal. So, what evidence do you have? The evidence you have is that you see paw prints in the sand. All right? So what conclusions can you reach? That there was an animal there before. So that is circumstantial. We know based upon our observations, based upon our experience, based upon our common sense, that some animal walked by there before you. You don't know when, you don't know what time, you don't know how long before, but the fact is, you do know that somebody was there. And how do you know? Because of circumstantial evidence. We use the circumstances to connect the dots. Even though we don't actually physically see the dog walking along the beach, we don't need to see the dog walking along the beach. We can connect those dots because our experience tells us that the only way paw prints appear on the beach is when an animal has already been there. So that's exactly how we analogize that particular type of circumstantial evidence to a case at trial. So if we don't have direct evidence where somebody actually observes something happening, observes a conversation, hears a conversation, sees an event occurring, we can put together and piece together different facts that we do know. We can use different witnesses to talk about the different facts and observations that they saw, and then ask the jury to reach certain conclusions based upon that circumstantial evidence. So why do I share this with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these medical malpractice cases in New York. I do recognize and I understand you're likely watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter happened in New York and you're thinking about bringing a case, but have not done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer questions like yours every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.